Hello Year 5 and welcome to Lesson 7. Today we're going to use those art elements that we looked at last week, and we're going to start to compare the architectural style of Gaudi and Hundertwasser. A must for today is that you recognise some differences between Hundertwasser and Gaudi's work. A should for today is that you can explain those differences using the seven elements of art. And a could for today that you're able to explain several similarities and differences between the two architects using the 7 elements of art. Then a star challenge for you today is that you find out 2 facts about each artist, and you say how this information may influenced or have influenced their work. So for today's lesson you will need the following. You'll need your elements of art task from last week, a piece of paper, a pencil, and a Venn diagram. Now you can either make this Venn diagram or you can print out the copy that I have attached. That's completely up to you. So pause the video now and get what you need. Fabulous, welcome back. So you should have just a notebook that you can write in, just a few things that I'm going to ask you to think about, and I'd like you to jot them down. Can you name the 7 elements of art that we spoke about last week? Do not look at your help sheet. So cover your help sheet. Can you name those 7 elements of art? And then your star challenge is to try and provide examples for each element. See how many you can remember. So pause the video and see how many you can remember. And we'll have a look at them in a minute. Great, you're back. I wonder how many you remembered. So let's have a little look, first of all, just skipping ahead, at the elements of art. See how many of those you've got. Did you get shape, line, form, colour, space, texture, value? Who got 7 out of 7? If you got 7 out of 7, give me a thumbs up. That's absolutely fantastic. And let's just take a closer look at what each one of those means. So line, let's read this together. A path of a moving point through space. Oh, now when I'm actually reading it, I can see that there's a spelling mistake. So through space, THROUGH. I will change that in a minute. Shape, a 2-dimensional closed area that is defined by other art elements. Who can give me an example of a shape? Square, did I hear square? Brilliant. Colour, an element of art that is derived from reflected light. So warm colours, cool colours, light colours, dark colours. Value, the lightness or darkness of an object. Form, a 3-dimensional object. Can you give me an example of a 3-dimensional object? Pyramid, brilliant. Space, emptiness or area between, around, above, below, or within objects. And you may have heard me talk about quite a lot in class negative and positive space, so that falls under space as well. Then texture, how things feel, or how we think when we look at them, how they might feel. Okay, so it could be how they do feel or how we think they might feel. How well did you do with those? I bet you did brilliantly. 7 elements of art, and could you provide examples? Now today we are going to be watching some videos. I'd like you to watch both the video clips that I've included in Google Classroom, and while you watch those video clips I want you to use these headings to make notes. So it might actually be a good idea to pause the video, write down the elements of art: shape, line, form, colour, space, texture, value. You might want to divide your page in 2, jot those down on the one side, jot them down on the other side, jot down Gaudi, Hundertwasser, and then you are ready to make notes when you watch the video. So pause the video, do that now, watch the video clips, and come back to me when you finish making your notes. Brilliant, you're back and you have your notes. Now, what I'd like you to do with those notes is that you're going to use the notes that you've created in order to complete the Venn diagram. So if you have found out a piece of information by looking at the video clips and you think it applies to both Hundertwasser and Gaudi, then you're going to write that in the middle section. If you think your piece of information only applies to Gaudi, then you're going to write it in the Gaudi section. If it only applies to Hundertwasser, you're going to write it under Hundertwasser. And then your star challenge, which you're going to do at the end, once you've gathered and sorted your facts, is look up 2 facts of your own about each artist, for example, where and when they were born. So look up 2 facts of your own about each artist, and you can actually write them either in the Venn diagram or just around the Venn diagram. That's completely up to you. Now, once you've done that, you are going to pause the video, come back to me, and I want you to see how well you did today. So in front of you, I'd like you to have your piece of work from today, your Venn diagram. How well did you do today? Did you complete level 1? Did you recognise at least 3 differences between the work of Hundertwasser and Gaudi? So have a look at your Venn diagram. Have you got 3 differences? Things that are unique to Gaudi and unique to Hundertwasser. Then level 2. Have you done those 3 differences but also got 2 similarities between their work? Can you recognise 2 similarities? That goes in the middle section. And then this is quite fun. I'd like you to have your highlighting pen or just a coloured pencil, doesn't really matter. How many of these keywords did you use? So if you used a keyword, just colour it yellow. Yellow is always a good colour to highlight things with. So if you use the word line, you'll just colour over the top in yellow. Colour, texture, shape, value, form or space. And then finally, the star challenge. Did you complete the star challenge? Did you find out 2 facts about each artist and say how these facts may have influenced their work? When you have done all of that, you are going to upload your work to Google Classroom, your Venn diagram, so that I can have a look at it, because that should have all your information on it. If you'd like to include your notes, that would be fabulous, but your Venn diagram should include all the information that I need. Look after yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.